Hi there everyone. So firstly, hope you've all had a great Christmas and a brilliant new year. So yeah, it's been a while since I've had a video out, but to be honest, I've not had a great deal going on. I've just been enjoying the festive break. So Santa did bring me a car. He got me the Hornet Evo, which I've got built. It's all kit and it's all up and running, so we will be giving the Evo a little run out at some point, but the weather's pretty grim out here, but that's not what this video is about. So 2025, there's a lot of vintage races. So I did it last year, I'm going to do it again. So these are UK events. I know there's events all over the world. The majority of the people watch my videos are from the UK, so if you're not from the UK, do apologise, and everything that I'm about to tell you probably has no meaning to you whatsoever, but it's an insight into what events are coming up, and I will hopefully be going to most of them. There's a few I won't be able to get to because of distance, and a few because I'm going to be on holiday when they're on. But kicking off the year, we have the Modelsport 50th anniversary. This is held at the Workshop Raceway, and it's on the 1st and the 2nd of February, so that's the Saturday and the Sunday. It's 2 and 4-wheel drive on both days. Normally 2-day events, you'll have 2-wheel drive Saturday, 4-wheel drive Sunday. This one, it's 2 and 4-wheel drive running both days. I'm only booked in for the 2-wheel drive. I don't really enjoy running 2 classes a day. It's just a lot more to take in, and for me, this is all about having fun, going off doing these races. So I was booked in for 4-wheel drive, but I've pulled out of a 4-wheel drive. Sorry. And it's just 2-wheel drive, and this is what I'm going to be running, which will come into in another video later on. But yeah, so it's at the Workshop Raceway. It's a multi-surface, so I think it's carpet and cork flooring. I don't know exactly. I've never been to this club before, so it's going to be good getting there. It'll be a good event. Obviously, Modelsport, they're a big shop in the UK. Or if you're older like me, it's always known as Otley Modelsport. One of the requirements are the tyres. So you're running the hoodie comb, so it's a controlled tyre, which we've got these mounted up, got foams in. I've not glued them up just yet. They have to be a new set of tyres, so obviously the entry into this is now closed, unfortunately, but they have to be new, unused, so they'll be scrutineered at the time. Make sure that you've not done anything with them. It puts everyone on the same keel. So like I say, we'll be at that event. I'll be filming on that one. The next event, it's a new event, and this is the Phil Booth Grand Prix, and this is being held at the amazing Silverstone Model Car Club. This is running Friday the 11th, Saturday the 12th, and Sunday the 13th of April. So 3 days, but the event is over the Saturday, the Sunday. The Friday is practice. So I've got everything written down because I'll never remember half of this. So Friday practice opens at 12 until 6 p.m. And then on the Saturday, it's the 2-wheel drive, 8 till 6 p.m. And the classes are Prix 88, 89 to 93, and then 94 to present. So basically, if you've got a BBX, a Dirt Master, the PB R1S SM, can't remember exactly what it is, but any sort of modern rear motored, so it has to be rear motored, and it has to be a manufactured rear motored, so you can't just sort of get an LD3, convert it somehow to be rear motor and run that. So it's got to be a manufactured one. So there's the 3 age classes on that. On the Sunday, again 8 till 6, we've got Prix 88, 89 to 93, and then it's 94 to 2009. So you can get like your Cat 3000s, low C. I think it's the triple X4. I'm not too fanned up on the low Cs, but yeah, like I say, it's a new event. So I'd love to go. Unfortunately, the weekend that's running, I'm away in Germany for the Euromasters, so there won't be any video or me going to that event this year, but this is about what's going on. So motor limits, it's a 10.5 turn motor limit for both 2 and 4 wheel drive, and again you're running on honeycombs. So those of you that run with honeycombs, you'll know that these last a long time. So if you're doing the Modelsport 50th, you need a brand new set, then they'll get scrutineered, make sure they're brand new, you can't do anything with them. So you could enter the Phil Booth one with the same cars, you can run the same tyres, they don't need to be new. I've asked the question, I'm just waiting for a definite answer, but as far as I know, there's nothing you said they have to be new tyres. They can be used, because like I say, once you buy one set of these, you're pretty much going to run them for years and years at events. Nothing else. It's going to be a yearly event as well, so if you can't make this year, and entry for this opened up on the Friday, so this video is going out Sunday, entry opened up on the Friday, so it's probably already full and you may not get in, but it's going to be a yearly event. So next year, 2026, keep your eyes out and you'll be able to apply for the event next year. So it's going to be a good one. And where are we at now? So moving on into the year. So one that's another great popular event, the Robin Hood Raceway Classic. This is on May the 3rd and the 4th, so Star Wars weekend, and it's the bank holiday weekend as well. So it's an event that I'll definitely be going to. And those of you who've been before in the past, it's always been held on the outdoor carpet track. That's possibly not going to be ready, or for whatever reason, but it's being held on the Astro track this year. So the big Astro track where they hold Euros and Nationals and everything, it's being held on that track. And again, honeycomb tyres. So it's a 2-wheel drive only event. So obviously if you've been running your 2-wheel drive, you can get your honeycombs out for another event, make use of them on that. If you don't know if you've never heard of the Robin Hood Raceway Classic, it runs to a Reedy format. So I don't fully understand the Reedy format, but every race is a race. So if you come first in your first race, you get 1 point. If you come 10th, you'll get 10 points. And then in your second race, and you'll be racing different people in that race, and you'll also start at a different start position on the grid. So on the grid start, it's not car 1, 2, 3. It's when the buzzer goes, you're racing for position in every race. So that's how the Reedy race format goes. And then it's basically whoever's got the least number of points is the winner. Last year, I think it was up to about, I think it was like up to 20th position they had trophies for. Obviously, there's however many people get in there, you can't have trophies for everyone, but it's a great weekend, it's a great atmosphere, and like I say, you're always racing for positions, so every race is a race. So you can't sort of like just think, oh, well, I'll just bimble around, take it easy. There's definitely no sandbagging going on. So that's that one there. And moving back. So Robin Hood Raceway. Then we've got Eden Park Raceway. Their vintage weekend. That's on the 17th to the 18th of May. I went there last year. It's a long trek for me. It's about 7-8 hour drive for me to get there. It was a brilliant event last year. It was the first, I think it was the first one they did last year, or the second. So it was the second. So it's still in its infancy, but it's got bigger and bigger over these 2 years, and hopefully this year it's going to be even bigger. It's a great venue, great track. They are on Astro, so it'll be whatever is appropriate for the day. So yellow or silver mezzos are going to be the tyres in order for the back. And it'll be, I don't know exactly how the format's going because nothing's been released on it yet, but it will be two-wheel drive on the Saturday, I would guess. And then it'll be your different age groups, 4-wheel drive on the Sunday, and again, different age groups. At the venue, you've got camping on site. So if you're going down, you can camp. I think last year when I went, we camped the Friday and the Saturday night. There's a clubhouse as well, so you can get food and some drinks there. But again, nothing's been posted about it. I'll leave links in the description, so if you go into the description, if you want any more information about events, you can go on there. But like I say, registration's not open up for this one yet, so you should be able to get your name down and hopefully get a spot. And I definitely recommend going because it was a brilliant event last year. And next on the list, excuse me, coming out a bit of a cold, I think. Back to the old school Prix. So this is held by Broughton Raceway. This is the 7th and the 8th of June. And again, more details follow. Nothing's been released on this. This is, I think it's the 3rd year they've done these events. All I'll know, it's going to be on an Astro track. And again, I don't know what the format is, if it's 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, separate days. I don't know what the age groups are going to be. But again, if it's something that you're interested in, I'll leave a link down in the description to their site. And the easy thing to do just be follow the club, keep checking in and see when they release any dates. And moving into July, so big one for me, the Lakeland Classic. So South Lakes Model Car Club, my local car club. This is the 15th and 16th of July. And again, it's my local track. So yes, I am a little bit biased, but I do love the event. It's on grass, and vintage cars, it's all about being on grass. So it's changing format. So last year it was 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive on the Sunday. This year it's going to the regular format of 2-wheel drive on the Saturday, with the added bonus of trucks. So I think last year there was 3 heats of trucks. So if you've got one of the RC10T trucks, boom, there you go, you can race it. If you've just recently gone out and bought a Cougar 2 Works and you've got an old Cougar Classic sat there, you're thinking, what do I do with it? Convert it into a truck if you don't have a truck. All the stuff to convert it is there, readily available now. Wheels are the only sticking point, but I know Kevin Fenrick does some wheel adapters, but that's something we're going to look at in a future video, because I've got a spare Cougar somewhere, I think. And I'm going to convert it into a stadium truck. So that's the South Lakes. Rules for that, it's generally everything follows revival rules. So no brass weights, try and keep everything period correct, no modern wings, they've got to be like period wings. And motors, I think it's a 10.5 turn motor limit for the South Lakes Classic. But yeah, like I say, the only change is the 2-wheel drive and trucks will be on the Saturday and 4-wheel drive on the Sunday. This should allow it to finish earlier, and then anyone that's got a fair bit to travel should be home in good time, hopefully. After that, we've got the big one, Revival. If you're watching this and you're in the UK, you're going to know about Revival, I'm guessing. So there's 2 Revivals a year. So Revival 1, we are at BMR, Big and Model Raceway, and it's Friday the 25th to Sunday the 27th of July. If you haven't noticed, there are some slight changes to the early 2-wheel drive classes. I think it's only the 2-wheel drive, so I think it's the first 2 age groups. Some cars have changed age group. So like, I think it's the likes of your Grasshopper and your Hornet. They used to be in the 2nd age group. I think they've been pushed into the 1st age group, or it's been condensed into one. And this is purely to allow a little bit more flexibility in the cars, but it also means that there will be trucks at Revival. So I'm happy that they've brought trucks back. I know a lot of people have been asking for trucks back at Revival. With the amount of people that go there, they've never been able to get the trucks in. But I think the tweaks to the 2-wheel drive format means that they can now have 1, 2, I don't know how many heats it's going to be, but there will be trucks running after the with the 2-wheel drive. So your format for Revival, Friday it's practice, so you can just go out, do as much practice as you want, and then when the track closes, there's a wheelie race. So that's things like your lunchboxes, your Tamiya comical range of cars. I think they can only be the 2-wheel drive ones, so I think the Avanti or Hot Shot, if they're 4-wheel drive, they've got to be the 2-wheel drive one. Your Wild Wheelies and the Schumacher Viper and Wildcat, I think it is, the ones that basically there's all rules as to what they can be, but I think the main thing is they all have to pull a wheelie at the start. They ran the race last year at the both revivals, and it was great, and it's one that I'm going to be doing, so I'm hopefully going to find a conical hornet. So that's revival 1, so that's in July. And then in September, I forgot to write the dates down for this, so I'll put a little bit just here with the dates. Revival 2, so obviously it's the second revival, and this is being held at Oswestry Radio Car Club this year. It alternates between Broxtowe and Revival at the moment, so the good thing about this is that they have a nice grass field, so it's going to be on grass as far as I know. And again, it runs to exactly the same format as the other revival, so on the Friday they'll have the wheelie race, etc, etc. There's a clubhouse on site as well, so again there's camping, and there's a clubhouse at the Oswestry one. Revival at Bingham, there's no clubhouse, but there is plenty of food and tents where you can go to party. So after that, so one that's just got the dates released, it's not been released officially, but the Jingle Bells Cup. So I went to the Jingle Bells Cup this year, didn't do any filming unfortunately because I wasn't feeling the best at the time, and that is the 29th and the 30th of November. It's at the event, it was held last year, so Bury Metro Model Car Club. It's a mixed surface, so it's carpet and it's like, I think it's like a rubber cork type floor. It'll be pretty much the same as last year, so unfortunately I can't say go and check out last year's video on that. But all the details are to be confirmed. Registration obviously won't be open for a while now. And again, control tyres are your honeycombs. So if you've got one set of honeycombs and you're thinking you're not going to use them a lot, if you can get to some of these events, you're going to get some use out of these honeycombs. So I've got one set, and I know they're going to get a lot of use at least. That is it. So events to be confirmed. So these are events that have happened in the past or regularly happen in the past. So one of them is the Batley Classic. I've been there a few times now. Brilliant venue. Again, it's at a sports complex thing, so they've got a clubhouse and everything, so you can get food and drinks there pretty much all the time. They normally have a barbecue one during the day as well. I don't know if it's going to be on grass or astro. They are building an astro track. But when I last spoke to Richard, who's one of the guys that runs the club, they're potentially going to run it on grass. So they've still got an area where they can have a grass track. So obviously, vintage cars, get a grass track. Everyone loves a bit of grass. So that's all to be confirmed on what it is. Robin Hood Classic, already mentioned it, but last year they ran 2 events. I've not had anything confirmed that there's going to be 2 events, but there could be a second event. I think last year it was about September. I was away for the first Robin Hood Classic, but I managed to get to the second one, so there may be a second Robin Hood Classic. Southport Vintage event, they held their first event last year. It's on Astro at Southport Model Car Club. Obviously your first events are always pretty hard to get going, so they do take a lot of organising. I've never organised one, but I do know from people that have done these events how much goes into them. So I don't know if the Southport Vintage event will happen this year. I'm waiting for confirmation on that. And then back to the old school at Broughton. So I think in the past they've sometimes done 2 events. So there may be another one, but obviously if any of these are clubs that you can get to relatively easily, there'll be a link in the description of this video and it'll give you all the information you need. But that's it, just a little overview on what events. So there's a few that I'll be going to. Obviously Modelsport 50th at the beginning of next month. The Phil Booth Grand Prix, can't make that one unfortunately because I'm away in Germany for the Euromasters. Eden Park Raceway, I'm debating on that one at the moment still. And back to the old school, Robin Hood, definitely that one. Lakeland Classic, can't make that one unfortunately because it's been brought forward a month and I'm on holiday, so sadly I can't make one of my favourite events of the year. Revival at Bingham, I'll definitely be there. And Oswestry, again, I'll definitely be at that one. Whether I'm racing or not, I don't know. It depends if I can get a place in the second event. Jingle Bells, yeah, definitely going to be there. It was good last year, so I'm definitely going back. They did a really awesome job, did Bury, running that event. Obviously, it was the first event and everything. So that's it. Hope you've all had a great Christmas. Happy New Year. I know it's late, but now it's time to start getting back into some videos. And yeah, obviously we've got the Hornet Evo. And before you do go, I managed to get myself this. So it is a proper old school, all original Hornet. It's just going to get a restoration. It's not going to be a runner, obviously. I do want another one, which we'll come into in a later video. But that's it. Cheers for watching. Hopefully see you at some of these events. If you do see me at some, if you do see me at some of these events, come over and say hello. It's always nice to meet you lot that do watch my videos, support me, helps me out. So thanks for watching. Take care. Cheers, guys.